South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this first Saturday of the real Saratoga meeting. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at the South Point Studios at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in your gaming capital, and on the South Point Studios streaming network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show. Welcoming all of those listening to us on our radio station, our anchor radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. And, of course, all of our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global, iPhone, Android, and Google phone. We got the phone apps that cover you there. That's right, the KSHP app, of course. You can listen through the radio station, the YouTube app. You can see and hear us on that app as well, on your devices, and anywhere you get your podcasting as well. We welcome you to the show on this first Saturday at Saratoga. And if it's Saratoga, if it's the real Saratoga, you know that the biggest handicapping, item is the weather. You know how the weather is. They say at Saratoga, no matter where you're at Saratoga, if you don't like the weather, stick around for 10 minutes, it's going to change. And that's what's been happening at Saratoga. Now, when we left yesterday, the expectations of a beautiful day at Saratoga was it was going to be a great day at Saratoga. Well, then I start getting the reports early this morning. Rain, buckets of rain, hard buckets of rain coming down this morning. Now, I understand that it's going to stop. It has stopped. The place has been drenched. Now it's beautiful again at Saratoga right now. Jonathan Ardoon says, hey, look, the sun is shining. The ground is drowned, but the sun is shining. In any case, they say that they might expect another burst coming around 4 or 5 o'clock this evening Pacific time, which would be the latter races at Saratoga. So here's what we got so far at Saratoga. Okay? Gotta think the track's going to be off. Turf races. Yeah, there's been a casualty on the turf races. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Here we go. The fifth race was scheduled at mile and 16th on the turf. The fifth race will now be 1 mile on the main track. The sixth race, scheduled at 5.5 furlongs on the turf, will be transferred to the main track at the corresponding distance. The eighth race is one of the 2 stakes races today, the Bowling Green. At 1 mile and 3/8, it will be run on the inner turf course. Right now, the inner turf course, Bowling Green, stays there at the distance, the original distance of 1 mile and 3/8. The ninth race that was scheduled at 1 mile and 1/8 on the Mellon turf course gets transferred to the main track at that corresponding distance of 1 mile and 1/8. We get to the 11th race. The 11th race is the big Grade 1 Diana at 1 mile and 1/8 that was scheduled for the inner turf course, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. This is the one where we're going to see a good compact field of 6 that's headed up by She Feels Pretty. All right, now here's the deal. It's going to stay on the turf course right now, but not on the inner course. They're moving it to the Mellon turf course. That's the outer of the 2 turf courses. So the Diana will be run at the same distance at 1 mile and 1/8 on the Mellon turf course as we speak. And then the 12th and final race has been taken off the Mellon turf course, transferred to the main track at a corresponding distance of 5.5 furlongs. You have the latest from Saratoga as we speak right now. Late scratches will be coming in, and you know there will be an abundance of those when we get to the races where they have come off the turf and on the main. That's the parameters we have to deal with at Saratoga. On a beautiful day, it's a great place to be. On the days when they come off the turf, it is a massacre of late scratches. So we'll wait and see what's happening there. But as far as the weather is concerned here in Las Vegas, hey, it's going to be 87. It's 87 degrees right now outside here in Vegas. Sun is shining beautiful. Not even a whisper of a little breeze in the air. It's going to be perfect. We're going to get up to the, picket fence again today. 111 degrees. We're going to top out of 111 degrees today again. Now, I keep saying, and I will say this because it is important that I say this and you remember this. If you are here in Las Vegas, stay hydrated. Don't wait until you feel dehydrated. It'll be too late. Make sure you walk around always with a full bottle of water if you're going to be outside in the heat. Okay? The kids, the pets, come on. They can't stand in the heat too long. So make sure they have a lot of activities in the shade and inside. And, of course, the elderly, people who have a hard time with the hot weather, check on them. Make sure they're okay. Because that's what the weather is going to be like here in Las Vegas. Now, as far as the rest of the country is concerned, Miami 87, New York 82. You got, believe it or not, it's going to be 91 in Buffalo, New York. Remember during the football season how bad it is there? Well, it's just the opposite. It's going to be 91 today in Buffalo. Chicago 87, that's comfortable. You've got Los Angeles at 82 degrees. No, of course, no racing there in LA today. And the hot spots are in the Southwest mostly. Look, El Paso is going to be 102. And believe it or not, Phoenix, Arizona is not the hot spot in the country. We are. Phoenix is only going to get to 109 today. So that's the way the weather looks as far as the temperatures are concerned. As far as precipitation, more of that crazy flood-type raining weather going on in the western part of Texas. In the western part of Texas. You got a lot of rain north of the Great Lakes area in Canada. And you got some rain in action that has made their way across the southeast already and is in the Atlantic. So that's what we got to go by today. I would assume that most of the other racetracks are in good shape. But as far as Saratoga, that is the latest out of Saratoga. All righty. They added $640,000 to the pool yesterday at Saratoga in that one-day carryover. The pick six was hit, and here's how that went yesterday. We started the pick six races in the fifth race, and the winner there was in the fifth race, the winner there was Low Key. Jose Ortiz aboard for Tom Amos, paying $740. The sixth race, that also was taken off the turf, put on the main track, was won by Dr. Agni. Dr. Agni. Jose Ortiz's second win, back-to-back, his second win of the day, for trainer Sherry DeVoe, paying $9.70. This was a very emotional win for those connections. He's named after the veterinarian that passed away that was very close to Sherry. And so Sherry DeVoe, you can see, was very, very emotional and very excited when this horse won. She took the widow down to the winner's circle as well. So an emotional win there for the sixth race winner. The seventh race was the featured Coronation Cup that was stayed on the Mellon Turf course. The Coronation Cup was won by Italian Soiree, which, if you remember, when I pressed Jonathan Nardoon to take a look at this stakes race yesterday, he was talking about some of the horses in the race that were favorites. But he did say the main long shot in this race he believed was Italian Soiree. He said, make sure you put that long shot into whatever you use. Well, Italian Soiree closed from just off the leaders with a powerful run under Luis Saez to win the Coronation Cup for John Terranova II and paid $31.20. $31.20 on that, which was the highest priced winner of the day at Saratoga. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Eighth race winner gave Irad Ortiz Jr. his first of wins yesterday for Dale Romans, paying $5.10. Ninth race winner Ired Ortiz Jr. came back filling in on a horse called Get a Job, who was a main track only, and it was only on the main track. Get a Job for Steve Asmussen paid $8 even, and the last race winner, Dylan Davis for Mark Casse, paying $5.50. Put it all together, and the pick six paid $17,243.50 yesterday at Saratoga on a day where it was pretty close to the vest outside of the one long shot that Jonathan Ardoon rooted out for us yesterday. By the way, in that Coronation Cup, the two of the favorites in the race went out there. It was a 5.5 furlong race, but two of the favorites went out there and did a suicide mission together. They hit the first quarter of the race under 21 seconds. 20.99 seconds for the first quarter in that race that set it up perfect for Italian Soiree. Hey, we highlighted the Clocker pick yesterday at Woodbine, and guess what? He was the only one that gave us a winner from the handicappers yesterday. The Clocker report, winner in the Woodbine's fifth race, Silver Raleigh. Silver Raleigh paid $8.70, so congratulations to the Clocker. I got a couple of more Clocker picks for you today at Woodbine. And that's just about the way it went yesterday. All righty. Fierceness worked out yesterday. Fierceness worked out at Saratoga on the Saratoga main track yesterday morning. He went 101 and 68 100ths, galloped out 115, 18 100ths, and 128 and 63 100ths. So he put in a nice solid work, Fierceness, for his getting ready for, I believe, the Whitney Stakes coming up there. So we'll wait and see about that. All right. So we have our handicappers with us today, Jonathan Ardoon, Rich Eng, of course, John Lendo, and Jerry J, as we make our way into the first big weekend at the Saratoga meeting. And we'll just wait and see what the weather might be when they start the races today. All right, we're going to be right back. Don't go away. And remember to jump on to the South Point Streaming Network Race Day show there on YouTube. And when you get there, you'll see the right-hand side, the chat box. They're chatting away, and you can too. All you have to do is subscribe if you haven't already. It is free of charge. No charge to subscribe. And then you can start chatting away as the horses continue to work out in the morning hours. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos. Join us for one of our biggest nights of the year, California Breeders' Champions Night on July 26th, with a full night of stakes action, with the Governor's Cup Futurity led by the super talented filly French Valley, plus top qualifier El Dictator. The Governor's Cup Derby will have a lineup of accomplished runners, plus the ageless Cattail Cove could also be in action. It's the track of sunsets and stars, Los Alamitos Racecourse, California Breeders' Champions Night.
All right, back on Race Day at Las Vegas. You know the weather here, you know the weather around the country, so it's time to get to our racing menu for today. And of course, as we always remind you, the first post times on this racing menu each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone, because we are in the Pacific time zone here in Las Vegas, and these will be the first post times that roll out in our race book today here at the South Point. If you're listening anywhere else in the world, well, naturally you have to tweak the first post times from the Pacific time zone to whatever time zone you're in, unless you're also in the Pacific time zone. But if you're not, tweak it out, and then you'll be right on the mark wherever you're at, so you don't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? Here we go. We begin with Colonial Downs. Now, they have 10 races today at Colonial Downs. 4 races are on the main track. 2 of those races are stakes races. The 5th race is the $125,000 Miss Disco at 7 furlongs for 3-year-old fillies. A field of 8 there before scratches, and the 5-2 favorite is Mila Candy. And then the next stakes race is the 9th on the card. It is the Star de Nascra Stakes at 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds. A field of 9 before scratches, and the 5-2 favorite there is Barbadian Runner. Barbadian Runner is the favorite at 5-2. There are 10 races, as I say, 4 on the main track, the 2 stakes races as well on there, and 6 other turf races. First post time at Colonial Downs today is at 9:30. Delaware Park also starts at 9:30. Delaware Park has 8 races, and their first post time is 9:30 at Delaware as well. Balterra Park has 8 races. Balterra Park has first post time at 9:35 at Balterra Park today. Saratoga gets underway at 9:35. Rain, shine, muddy, or fast. Saratoga's first post time 9:30. 12 races today. You already know about the changes as far as the turf and the main track is concerned. And the 2 stakes races, the Bowling Green will be the 8th race. That has a field of 11 before the scratches and the main track onlys, etc. Yo Daddy is the main track only, one of the 9 to 5 there, along with the Game Warden if they stay on the main track. Farbridge is the 6 to 5 favorite on the turf, and as you know, they say right now it'll stay on the turf. So on the Bowling Green, Farbridge is your 6 to 5 favorite there in the 8th race. The Diana is going to be a goodie. 1 mile and 1/8 on the Mellon turf course, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, a field of 6. The even money favorite there is the ever-consistent She Feels Pretty with John Velasquez aboard. But the main contenders will be Excellent Truth and Dynamic Pricing. 6 go in the Diana, that's the 11th. 12 races overall today at Saratoga, and a first post time of 9:35 at Saratoga. Ellis Park has 9 races. They've got a super high 5 carryover of $27,389. They also have a pick 6 jackpot carryover of $27,593. First post time at Ellis Park today is set at 950 for their 9 race card at Ellis. Gulfstream Park has 11 races. Their pick 6 rainbow jackpot carryover is $72,752. They will have a mandatory payoff in the pick 6 jackpot tomorrow, but for today, pick 6 jackpot carryover $72,752. The feature race today is the Azalea, I should say. It's the 10th race on the card. 9 to 5 favorite there is Anna's Promise in the Azalea. First post time for the 11 races today at Gulfstream is set at 9:50. Monmouth Park has 9 races today. Their feature race is the Blue Sparkler Stakes at 5.5 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-old fillies. That race is the 7th on the card. And let's see. Wow, it's a wide open race, really. 7-2 favorite is Rojo. The Monmouth Park's first post time is at 9:50, and their carryover in the pick 6 jackpot is $6,417 today at Monmouth. All righty, Woodbine, north of the border, 11 races, a couple of stakes races at $125,000 a copy. Third race is the Victoria for 2-year-olds at 5.5 furlongs. In that race, favoritism will be between Rude Procedure and Jupiter, 8 to 5 and 9 to 5 respectively there. The My Dear Stakes for 2-year-old fillies is the 8th race at 5.5 furlongs. And in that race, the 5 to 2 favorite is Abdul is the favorite in that one. 11 races today at Woodbine. We do have a clocker report for you there. First post time is 10:05 at Woodbine. Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $19,389. Super high 5 jackpot carryover, $22,319 in the super high 5 jackpot. Emerald Downs. They have 9 races from the Great Northwest. First post time is at 1:50. Horseshoe Indianapolis gets underway at 2:10 today. 9 races, 8 thoroughbreds. The last race will be a quarter horse race. And the first post time at Horseshoe, Indianapolis is set at 2:10. 2:10 at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Canterbury Park has 8 races. Canterbury Park's first post time is set at 3 o'clock. Evangeline Downs has 9 races. Their first post time is at 3:30. 3:30 at Evangeline Downs. Charlestown has 8 races. And Charlestown has a first post time of 4 p.m. there. 4 p.m. at Charlestown. And then Prairie Meadows will also get underway at 4 o'clock. Prairie Meadows' first post time is at 4 p.m. They got a super high 5 jackpot carryover there at Prairie Meadows of $32,027. But their pick 5 jackpot carryover is $83,708. Pick 5 jackpot carryover there at Prairie Meadows. 10 races. The first 3 will be quarter horses. The last 7 will be thoroughbreds. And the third race on the card, the quarter horse race, will be a stakes race at 350 yards. First post time at Prairie Meadows for their 10 race card is set at 4 p.m. And then we wrap it up with Los Alamitos in Southern California, where the first race will be a thoroughbred race. The second and the fourth races will be quarter horses and thoroughbreds. And the third race will be a thoroughbred. So you got 2 thoroughbreds, 2 thoroughbred quarter horses, and 4 quarter horse individually there. First post time at Los Alamitos for that mixture is at 6:10, 6:10 at Los Al. That's your menu for today. But now we go up to Saratoga. And I can see that Jonathan Hardoon just stuck his head out the window. So he's going to tell us what the weather is right now. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. It's absolutely beautiful. The sun is shining. It's the craziest place in the world. 2 hours ago, it was coming down in buckets. Again, the card unfortunately decimated with late scratches, but nothing you could do about it. Can't argue with Mother Nature.
Well, now, Jonathan, the thing is, it's beautiful out, but there was so much rain that came down in such a short period of time that it had to soak the ground. So what do you think the track condition, the main track condition, is going to be at post time?
Well, they said it's going to be wet. I mean, it's definitely going to be sloppy, Ralph. A lot of water came down in a short period of time. Even if they had the track sealed, there's certainly plenty of water on top of it. I would be proceeding with caution today.
Proceeding with caution. So, the first 2 races today at Saratoga are for 2-year-old maidens. The first race is an open race for the colts and geldings, and if your filly wants to go in there. And the second race is just for the fillies. They're both at 6 furlongs for 2-year-olds. These 2-year-old races get a lot of attention, especially at Saratoga and Del Mar, because that's where the high price yearlings wind up debuting, and we all know that the owners want to be in the winner's circle. But with the off track the way it is, I guess since there's not a lot of information as far as actual performances by these horses, except for the workouts, to take a look at the breeding to see which ones are bred, that the offspring of the stallions might like the mud, so you're assuming that the offsprings might too.
Yeah, you have a late scratch in the first race of the 3, Tappett's Legacy. There's some very expensive horses in this race, Ralph. They paid a lot of money for a lot of. It's an impossible race. I mean, how do you go about betting it? First of all, you don't even know who's going to handle an off track. Watch the board, see who takes money is the best advice I could give you. And even then, you probably don't want to play. You probably want to watch a race or 2 and get a feel for the track.
Well, I guess the only thing about these races for the 2-year-olds, then, especially with the new dimension of the track condition, let alone all of the other things we were talking about, is maybe, like you said, watch the board, because maybe a horse or 2 out of these races might have worked on an off track and did very well, and that will show up, I think, on the board, wouldn't it?
Probably. But it's a blind bet. It's totally a blind bet. I mean, not only that, you have so many races all over the country. Do you really need a 5-horse field with all basically first-time starters? Well, I don't think so.
Well, that is the start of the early pick 5. But I got to remind everybody that they have the early pick 5. They have a mandatory pick 5 that starts in the 1, 2, 3, 4. Starts in the third race. They got a mandatory pick 5 there. They got another mandatory pick 5 that ends in the 9th race, and then the late pick 5. So there are 4 pick 5s today, 2 of them mandatory payoffs. So you don't really have to jump into the first race for the early pick 5, or for that matter, the early pick 4 with the second race. Do you have any scratches in the second?
No scratches in the second.
All right. Did you get the scratches?
I got part of them, and then we came on the air, so I couldn't complete them all.
Okay. Well, what do you have anything in the 2 stakes races, I guess?
Okay, so what races are those? The
The 8th and the 11th.
Yeah, the 8th race, scratch the 1 starting over, scratch the 5 web slinger, and scratch the 8 corruption, 1, 5, and 8. They're holding the MTOs there, the 9 and 10. So if it stays on the 9, 10, and 11, stay in. They haven't been scratched yet. But if it stays on the grass, it will be a 5-horse field.
All right. So the 9 Yo Daddy, which is 9 to 5. The
That's
10
for MTO.
That's right. The 10 Kuchar at 6 to 1 and Game Warden at 2 to 1. These 3 are those prices if they enter the field on the main track only. If not, ignore it all and just scratch them, right?
Correct.
Okay. Any in the Diana?
No scratches. All 6 go.
All 6 go in that race. So now that we've got the basics down at the moment, because we know there's going to be more scratches coming in, but taking a look at the Bowling Green, assuming that it stays on the inner turf course of the 1 3/8, we got Far Bridge, I guess, is the horse that you got to beat.
Yeah, but if anyone that was listening to the show on Thursday, we teased out a horse that I liked at a price.
Yes.
You know, I don't know how he's going to handle the soft turf, but I really like the number 2 horse in here, El Reason. A 4-year-old call from the Todd Pletcher barn. Dylan Davis rides. The horse is 2 for 2 at Saratoga, 1 for 3 at the distance. He's getting better with each start. He was 8 to 1 on the morning line before the late scratches, so obviously will be a lot shorter. But I think, you know, he has a shot to beat the horse that'll be 2 to 5 in Far Bridge. I like the 2 horse in there, El Reason, at a price.
Well, now, you didn't tell me who it would be. You just told me it was a tease. But when I looked at this race, last night, you know, if you're going to try to beat Far Bridge, I think that or the 8-horse Corruption, who got scratched, might have been the 2 horses that had the best chance of beating Far Bridge. And so now with Far Bridge in the race and you liking El Reason, there's no reason to box these 2 horses in the exacta.
Well, you certainly want something on the 2 if he's really some sort of a price. If he's 5 to 1 or more, you certainly should make some sort of win bet. But yeah, those are the 2 horses that I like.
All right, main event now, the Grade 1 Diana. This is going to be a goodie. She Feels Pretty is going to put that great record on the line. John Velasquez aboard at even money. She just puts it in all the time, doesn't she?
She fires every time. Sherry DeVoe is off to a terrific start. The first 2 days, she's won a couple of races.
Yes.
Listen, the horse goes for number 6 in a row. The horse handled the yielding turf last time out at Saratoga. Clearly the horse to beat. You know, it's only a 6-horse field. You have 2 Chad Brown horses in the race. Both the 4 and 5 are Chad Brown horses. But boy, the fun's going crazy. But I like the 1 horse. I think she's the best filly in the country on the grass. I really do.
Well, Chad Brown has won this race. Like I said, he won it the first time in 2011. He's racked up 8 of the last 9 Dianas as a trainer. But he could be up against it with She Feels Pretty today.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ralph.
All right, Jonathan, I know that you teased with this long shot in the Bowling Green, but I also know that can't be your play of the day for the race day Las Vegas show. So what might it be?
We're going to go to the 12th and final race, which will now be moved to the main track. And I like the number 9 horse in here, Gellhorn. This is a 3-year-old filly from the Danny Gargan barn. Katie Davis aboard to ride. This horse had 1 race that was scheduled for the turf that day. It came off due to the rain. Well, the same situation happens today. This horse has worked well since her last race. Blinkers go on. She's listed at 6 to 1 on the morning line. I like number 9, Gellhorn, to win today's 12th and final.
All right. The 12th and final race, number 9, Gellhorn. Number 9, Gellhorn in the 12th race with Katie Davis aboard. The full 12 races, handicapping is available right now from Jonathan at your website. And I know you did another track, did you, today?
Yeah, I did, Monmouth, but I don't even know the weather there. It may rain there as well. So.
Okay. Well, we know that people are chomping at the bit, so to speak, to get a hold of you there. So we'll let you go, and thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Sorry, Ralph. Thanks. Stay safe and be well. See you tomorrow.
You shouldn't be sorry. When people want to get a hold of you, that's a good thing. Thanks a lot, Jonathan. All right. Well, we'll continue on the Race Day show. Next up comes Rich Eng, and of course, we still have John Lindo and Jerry Jackowitz yet to go on this first Saturday of the Saratoga meeting, coming to you from Las Vegas. Don't go away.
Here we are in Houston, opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that's going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risks their lives and are struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We're also building what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space, and give them back some of their dignity, some of their independence, and most certainly give them back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
All right, back on the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Saturday, and now we go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, Richie, another one of those typical Saratoga days. You got to just wait, and the weather will change. If you don't like what you see now, you'll get something different soon. And hopefully, at least the weather for the humans should be okay today. But with, at Saratoga, this time of the year, and you and I have been there so many times together. This time of the year, when you get up there in the summertime at Saratoga, when it rains, it becomes so humid out there, right? And so I caution the people that even if the sun is shining, it looks beautiful on TV. I caution the people out there when they see the post parades and in the walking ring, if a horse is kind of sweating a little, washing out a little bit, that maybe is not his character, I wouldn't worry about it that much, because I got to think the humidity is high today at Saratoga.
Oh, no question about it, Ralph. I know personally, I worked for NYRA for 7 seasons and was up at Saratoga for 7 years back in the 1980s and 1979. And, when I worked in publicity, Ralph, we had to wear either a suit or a jacket and a tie. And when you get weather like you just explained with the humidity, I'd be washed out by 10 a.m. in the morning because we had to go in the backside and get barn notes from the trainers. But you're 100% right. If it affects the humans like that, it's going to affect the horses too, some more than others. But you're going to see some kidney sweat and things like that. And it's in some instances, it would be a horse you would want to draw a line through. But at Saratoga, it may just be in reaction to the high humidity.
And, of course, Lasix on horses has a lot to do with the dehydration going on that might happen today, too. So it's going to be a tricky situation. And certainly, if you're handicapping out there, folks, whatever you handicap, whatever happens today, put a little star next to the performances of these horses today when they come back and you handicap them the next time, because the effect of the weather there might have something in the way they run their race. If they run very much different from their past performances as well. Well, Richie,
And Ralph, I was going to say that's an excellent point. And another angle too is a trainer might keep a horse in just to see what the heck the horse does on the main track, even though it might be muddy or sloppy.
Yeah.
And they might find that this horse runs well on the main track, and it opens up a lot of options for the owner and the trainer too.
Yeah, not only the conditions of the weather and the track condition combined, but of course the intent. Sometimes it's a day to experiment for some of the trainers with the horses. So it's a tricky card today, but it's going to be fun to watch and bet the races because it's Saratoga. We know that, and of course, Richie, I know that you right now you have a simulcast sheet that does not concentrate on one racetrack. When we get to Del Mar next weekend, you'll be back to your regular handicapping Del Mar races, Southern California, on a regular basis. But you do have a simulcast sheet today, and it covers a lot of racetracks around the country. I know your original pick that you sent us earlier today was a pick at Saratoga. It was in the 9th race there, and you had made it very clear that there was going to be a pick for turf only. And when it came off the turf, we decided that that wasn't your pick. So we'll get your pick right now. Where are you going now?
Yeah, I sent in a backup pick. We'll see if Sean types fast and is able to put a graphic together at the last second. But let's go to Colonial Downs, Ralph. It's on the main track, so I'm not going to have to worry about off the turf. Race number 5 is 7 furlongs, the Miss Disco Stakes for fillies and mares. Real interesting field put together. I like the number 5 horse, Winfinity. Ben Curtis riding for John Ortiz. John Ortiz is a Kentucky trainer based out of Churchill Downs. And this horse it comes out of 2 optional claimer, $125,000 fields, which are practically as good as a stakes race in a lot of places. And this horse is shortening up in distance. I think this horse has an interesting class edge, should hold the price because the 2 races that this horse ran at Colonial Downs ran first and ran second. So I know this horse loves the racetrack. Number 5, Winfinity, in the 5th at Colonial Downs.
All right, 5th race at Colonial Downs, the 5-horse Winfinity hopes that he has the infinity to win. So the 5 in the 5th race at Colonial Downs. Now, folks, he has a simulcast sheet, and I'm going to tell you, he perused the entire country with the races. He's got selections at Monmouth, Gulfstream, Ellis Park, Delaware Park, Colonial Downs, and of course, Woodbine, and at Saratoga today. So make sure you get his sheet. He's all over the place today, folks. And you can get it right now at the racedaylasvegas.com websites.
And Ralph, yesterday's sheet, the last 2 picks on the sheet were both at Colonial Downs, and they both won. So maybe that's my horse for track for course is Colonial.
I think it might be, yes. Let's keep that mojo going for today, that's for sure. Hey, thanks a lot, Richie. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All righty. Now, before we go to our break, yesterday I reminded everybody that we did have a pick for you from the Clocker at Woodbine. And so when we get back off of this break, what we'll do is we'll get you the Clocker pick at Woodbine and then off with John and Jerry. So don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos. Join us for one of our biggest nights of the year, California Breeders' Champions Night on July 26th, with a full night of stakes action, with the Governor's Cup Futurity led by the super talented filly French Valley, plus top qualifier El Dictator. The Governor's Cup Derby will have a lineup of accomplished runners, plus the ageless Cattail Cove could also be in action. It's the track of sunsets and stars, Los Alamitos Racecourse, California Breeders' Champions Night.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show. the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All righty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Want to remind you folks out there that come next Saturday, it is the premier time for summertime horse racing, because we've always talked about breakfast, lunch, and dinner at this time of the year in the summertime, because Del Mar will be underway as well. So we got the spa in New York, we got the beach in Southern California where the turf meets the surf, and that's when it really starts cooking and getting going on next week. Remember, Del Mar opens its season on Friday. So good stuff there. Let's go to Woodbine, because we got a winner out of the clocker at Woodbine yesterday. So we're going to give you 2 clocker picks today at Woodbine as he sees it. We're going to go to the third race for the first of the clocker picks. Now, in the third race, this is the Victoria Stakes for 2-year-olds at 5.5 furlongs. The clocker likes number 1, Valley of Kings. Number 1, Valley of Kings, trained by Josie Carroll, said this 2-year-old is working well and faces a tough Cassie 3-year-old. Cassie has a trio in this race. Mark Cassie has 3 entrants in this race in the 6-horse field, but he thinks that Josie Carroll's horse, Working Well, is a horse that has a shot in the race, but he says, please demand a good price. Demand a good price on the 1, Valley of Kings, to possibly upset the Cassie trio in the third race, the Victoria Stakes at Woodbine. And then we'll go to the 5th race. In the 5th race, a maiden race at 1 16 miles for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. The clocker likes number 6, Spirited. Number 6, Spirited. This is another Josie Carroll trainee. Worked 59 flat recently, and it looks real tough in this spot, he says. Well placed and a solid workout for number 6, Spirited. Number 6, Spirited in the 5th race. And that, of course, the clocker report at Woodbine. Now let's go out to Southern California, where Mr. John Lindo is standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine, my man. And, it's that time of the year when we have to handicap the weather at Saratoga along with the races itself.
Got to be honest with you, it's one of the reasons I don't do New York on a regular basis. It's hard to do all the work ahead of time and have to put a bunch of lines through your but, we're horse players. We're going to adjust on the fly.
John, I want to remind everybody out there that you do have a Lindo report for Saratoga. You'll be back working and doing Del Mar when it opens on Friday. But right now, you do a Lindo report this week on Saratoga. And the Lindo report, in addition to selections in all the races and the suggested late pick 4 and all of the good information at the bottom, when you get to the races on your sheet that are on the turf course, you also designate in the handicapping notations if they if it changes to the main track, how you predict your selections for those 3 horses that you pick on the turf would do on the main track. You have categories of turf, you have categories of main, and then you have a category of any surface. So you do that extra work for the players there on the Lindo report for days like today when we go to the main track. So there is designations on the Lindo report for the changes to the main track.
Right. We do that when there is some rain or chance of rain in the forecast. And coming off yesterday off the turf, you don't know if they were going to be on. So, you have to kind of look at it both ways. And like I say, be ready to switch over or adapt as we go along. And it's just hard to do it and put it on paper a day ahead of time.
And of course, we now have there's several different handicapping elements that come into play today that is not your normal handicapping priorities and system. And that is, of course, the change to the main track. Don't know how some of these horses are going to perform on a sloppy or off track on the main track coming off the turf at Saratoga. Of course, we already talked about the 2-year-olds and the other handicapping dilemma you might have in trying to figure out which 2-year-old is going to like this type of dirt if they're bred for the mud. And then the humidity in the race that's going to knock out some of the horses like it does people. And Lasix is a big part when it comes to humid days, isn't it?
It is. And, but it's all, we do this all the time. When you get to the summer, you have to, the humidity is part of that. And just to note, I know there was a late scratch in that first race route, but 6-horse field today. The total cost of these babies that were purchased at auction was $3.25 million.
Wow.
That's over $500,000 per horse on average. It tells you there's some pretty good looking babies in race number 1 today at Saratoga.
And we've already seen a couple of really nice performances by 2-year-olds already at Saratoga, and we're into the first weekend.
Yeah, and then we're going to see more. I know the favorite in the first race, Tagermine, was a $1.4 million baby, and I heard he's a runner. But, obviously, with the cost of all of these horses, and you mix in an off track and everything else that goes on, he doesn't have to win today, but I'm interested to watch him run.
And the second race, of course, is the counterpart for the fillies, the 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs. We haven't got any scratches in that race yet, but I would imagine there's a pretty high tags in those races as well.
Yeah, I think these fillies only cost $1.25 million as a group, so they were a little bit discounted. Yes.
All right. Well, we'll wait and see about that. That's for sure. Flavien Prat getting off to a big start at Saratoga, and of course he has some key mounts today. But we're looking at the Diana. She Feels Pretty is so consistent. It's hard to get around her, isn't it?
She's definitely the one to beat. She wins races. I'll tell you what, the rain and moving out to the Mellon course is really going to help dynamic pricing, number 5. She likes Saratoga, and she likes a little give in the course. If She Feels Pretty gets beat today, and that's going to be tough, I think dynamic pricing is the one that's going to get it done.
All right. So in the Diana, She Feels Pretty is even money on the morning line with that great record she has. But dynamic pricing, you say, may like the elements today. Dylan Davis aboard there at 9-2 on the morning line. That's a good box, which She Feels Pretty in any case, that's for sure. So Jonathan Ardoon gave us a nice long shot that we can box with the favorite in the Bowling Green, and you gave us a nice horse to box with the favorite in the Diana. Of course, we've got 12 races today at Saratoga, and as I say, the Linda Report covering all the races today, selections in all of the races, plus the designations for off the track, off the turf, and on the main, plus suggested late pick 4 and the goodie information at the bottom of the comprehensive report available right now here only in Las Vegas at the South Point, and it's free of charge, complimentary to you because they love horse players here. All right, we'll get your official pick now.
Okay, the one I sent you was scratched in race 7 today, so we're going to go up to race number 3, Ralph. In the third race, number 7, Jerry's Out, comes off of 2 straight wins, and I really like the race shape. Number 5, Uncle Jim, and number 6, Art Fair, both have a lot of speed. I think Jerry's Out just sits to the outside, presses the pace, won't get that kickback in his face. And at 5-2 on the morning line, I think he gets the right trip. So race number 3, number 7, Jerry's Out at Saratoga.
All right, and you as well as Jonathan gets another play in here, and that, of course, is the third race, number 7, Jerry's Out. Ricardo Santana aboard. Third race, the 7. Get the rest right now, the Linda Report here at the South Point. Hey, thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you tomorrow, my man.
You got it, Ralph. Good luck today.
And one Jerry that isn't out, he's with us here right now, Jerry Jackowitz. Good morning.
Good morning. I totally agree with John on Jerry in the third.
And no pun intended with the name, though, right?
Yeah, I actually like the horse, too, but I was trying to make
Okay. You like Jerry's Out as well in the third.
Sure.
Well, Jerry, I know these conditions sometimes can be playing with a lot of handicapping systems, but how do you handle it with the numbers?
Well, horses run whatever they run, and some horses run faster and they run bigger numbers on wet tracks. They're muddy or they're sloppy or good, but, I don't consider good a wet track for the purposes of the power page.
Uh-huh.
So, you have to adjust up or down accordingly to the conditions that, match the horse's abilities. It's pretty simple, but it's a definite something you have to do. We're going to do that in the fourth race today. My original play would have been in the fifth on the turf, but they're off the turf. So,
yes, you guys are all making your adjustments, that's for sure. Before I get the selection from you, however, in that race, wanted to ask you about the 2-year-olds, since you have limited, numbers as far as the performances are concerned. How do you handle that?
Well, if they haven't raced, I just put out 4 dots, meaning that they're first-time starters.
Uh-huh.
I don't even include 4.5 furlong races. I let you look at the form. I mean, they're worth something, but it's hard to, from a point of view of giving ratings, it's very hard to know what to do.
Sure.
But once they've raced, we start to develop patterns that are very typical of 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds who are first racing. And we can start to base our projections off of what they've actually done on the track. So,
all right. Well,
it's semi-scientific, I guess.
Okay. Well, let's get to the scientific rather than semi for the pick today.
Yeah, we're going to go to the fourth race today. I got a nice-looking play in Lost in Rome. Carmouche up for Sam Sundar. This combination has worked nicely already. Lost in Rome really runs well on a wet track, and we have a wet track today, and so at 6-1, I think it's really worth making I rated him at 70.5. Now I rate him at 71.5. And if the 6-1 holds, I mean, I think that horse got a really good chance to be first or second, and that makes for a very good key.
All right. So that's
I like the 7.
The 7 in the fourth race. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm playing the 7 with the 2, 5, 6, and 8, doing reverses. I brought in another slower horse who's got a mud mark.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see the M's on the power page, then the track is sloppy or muddy.
Elevate
them, increase their values. That's
okay,
all.
You got it. So in the fourth race, then you like the 7, Lost in Rome, and the link-ups are 2, 5, 6, and 8, and reverse. The 7 in the fourth race. Hey, since John Lindo gave me the third race, I got a rolling double going. I'm going to do a rolling double. Third race, the 7, and the fourth race, the 7. A 7 and 7 double from the third to the fourth. Of course, your contribution is the 7 in the fourth. Don't forget the power pages right now for all the races today at Saratoga, available at jerryjspowerpage.com. And you guys have not stumped Sean today. He got all of those changes graphically on the board for our listeners and our watchers as well. So there you go. Sean gets a high five for handicapping.
Sean does a good job.
He sure does. All right,
I sometimes send it in late, and he still gets it up.
Say it quick.
Have a great race day, everybody.